I see. I gotta do the intro over. Thank you, Brightest Day. I wasn't muted. I didn't turn my phantom power on, so it may fluctuate. So gotta do the intro over. Vigilante Williamson here on the 36th episode of my show, the Vigilante Williamson Show. Thank you for Brightest Day, a very new sub who just saved me a long show of being muted. It is March 11th, Thursday, March 11th, and I hope you're having a wonderful Thursday, whatever time of day it is, whatever day it is, because I know if you're international, it could be Friday now. But thank you. Thank you. I got you, bruh. And hey, August Washer, my top contributor by a long shot says we have sound, and I'm glad you can hear me. I'm glad you can hear me. Speaking of contributing, the pinned comment, if you want to buy something, buy some merch, or if you want to support the Streamlabs, feel free to. And then there's a Cash App. That's your sort of thing in the description. I'm not I guess I'm a streamer, so I have to be an e-bagger, right? But I want to thank you guys, especially Ogre Squasher, who again is one of a big contributor. But a lot of you guys have sent money. You guys have bought that backdrop. You guys have paid for that backdrop, and I appreciate it. So I appreciate you guys supporting my YouTube habit and my YouTube addiction. But for this show, we have quite a bit to talk about. It's funny. I thought I was just gonna do like an open show, later in the day. I'm like, what am I gonna talk about today? And then there's just so much stuff. We have to talk about what it means to be super straight. Have to talk about sexual education for kindergartners. We have to talk about Mumford and Sons. And we have to talk about Disney hiding their subscribers, which actually I don't really have a story to specify that. But just the last report of what their subscribers were, and the fact that there's going to be a price increase for Disney Plus, so a little bit of that. So we have a lot to get into. But again, how is everybody? How are you guys? How is your Thursday going? How's your life going? How's everything going? Because I genuinely thought I was going to walk into this episode just kind of like unscripted. Speaking of, someone already sent me $1. Brightest Day, you already sent me $1. You sent the $1 before the show started, it looks like. It says 29 minutes ago. You didn't have to send me anything. Thank you. He says, thanks again for the shout out the other night. Thank you, man. Thank you. And I'm sure I'll end up watching some of your Gunpla. I'm sorry for mispronouncing that. Sure, I'll end up watching some of those videos because same comment. Just because I like having like stuff like that in the background while I do other things. So thank you for showing up. And yeah, no problem. We always are trying to. My whole growth came from other people. I've still, that's kind of one thing that bothers me. I really still haven't grown off my own regard. So that that's my own issue. But I have no problem making sure everybody else can grow and get as many subs. So yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, since you mentioned it, go toss your stuff back in the description. Some more, so you can get you up to 20 subs. I think you're at like 13 last time I checked. But then again, I know I was at 317, so I know YouTube eats subs, so they may have eaten some subs since then. So let me find you, man. And go ahead. You're at 13 still, so thank goodness YouTube hasn't eaten your subs because they do that. I was at 317, they took 2. And it's cool when you have, I got a few subs. So it's cool when you're starting out, you can't afford for that YouTube game. So if you guys could do me a favor, hail Darius Munchausen. You guys, listen, you guys all came to me from different channels I guessed it on, whether it was Wes Moody, who I really wanted to do one every Wednesday. Yes, I wanted to pop up on him, but I didn't. I fell asleep and just couldn't wake up. Whether it's Wes Moody, Culture Casino, or Comics Division, or Foul Ball, or Jake D, or whoever. It was me subbing to other people, and I'm a terrible mod if you ever followed me off Sweetcast. But this is the link to Brightest Day. This is his channel. He talks. I see Gunpla. He's only had this channel looks like a few weeks, if I'm correct. But it's Gunpla, Battlestar Galactica stuff. So you might like it. And so give him a sub, man. Give him a sub. Because everybody starts somewhere, and I've only been doing this since June 30th into July 1st, same week as Brie Larson. So I've been doing it a little bit, but not a little bit. So yeah. So yeah, you're awesome, man. You're awesome. And Ogre Squasher, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Let's do anything. Let me see. And actually, I don't need Jets piece. I gotta get this weight off of me. Gotta get this weight off of me. I had the stream. I don't know. I just had Streamlabs up, but I'm so boomer. I lost it somehow. I don't know how. And now I'm trying to. Oh boy. There we go. Okay. But yeah, small donation for some Jets piece. Ogre Squasher, I want to thank you so much, man. Anyone who's ever donated a super chat. Holy crap, that's not a small donation at all. Ogre Squasher, what's wrong with you? Holy shit, you just donated me $50. Fuck the Ogre Squasher. You're keeping the lights on in a vigilante cave by a long wow. Wow, that's not a lot. Ogre Squasher. Thank you for telling me, because a lot of times you won't even tell me that you donated. Please let me know if you do donate on this channel. A $50 donation. I never thought I would ever get anything like that. I don't think I honestly deserve it. I am actually flabbergasted. Wow. Like, wow. Thank you so much, Ogre Squasher. Your support is very much appreciated. As you can see, there's a few more action figures. This guy, this is what you guys are supporting. You paid for this because that's paid. And I'll probably put stuff on my credit card. That's actually why I've been putting a lot of money so I can pay off this sort of stuff that I buy, right? And all these action figures. What's the other new one that you guys are funding? I appreciate it. I'm a pro-capitalist channel. I appreciate the capitalism. I never thought anybody would give me a $50 donation. So this is other stuff. This is these little soft action figures that I'm getting into, which I need another addiction, right? You guys don't know. I have a closet behind there. Wes used to joke that there's banshees and stuff, but in one of the closets is a bunch of action figures. Not to the Gary level on it by any means, but I still have quite a few action figures. So I got more stuff to put up. Got to figure out, but just thank you, man. I can't thank you enough. I can't believe you gave me a $50 dono. So if you want to, I'm pro-capitalist. So if you want to add to it or try to top him, which I don't suggest you do, because this is far too much. As far as far too kind. So yeah, I just thank you. And Squasher, the generous man, says hey to Darius, and he has a few. Bryce Day has a few things coming down the pipe, which is cool. So I'm gonna check out your channel, man. I'm waiting whatever you have coming down, man. And YouTube is the funnest thing. Like I said, you guys are supporting my YouTube addiction, you enablers, and I appreciate it, man. I really appreciate it. Golly, I don't even know how to keep going. I'm just flabbergasted, man. Noise. Yeah, it is noise. This is the way the algorithm brings you to a huge channel. They promote guests who promote friends all the way to peace with 13 subs, only getting bigger. Yeah, I mean, and I've got Fimmer's another one who's just a guy who saw me when I had I think less subs than he currently has. He hasn't had a video yet. If he's in the chat lurking, I love Fimmer the Ice Wolf. He's the Robin of this channel, if you will. But I said people subbed to him, and then he just took it and ran. He started doing other videos with Nick, and he ended up in a Discord, so he ended up doing videos with Nick and Jake D and whoever else. So he's kind of taking the ball and ran with it, and is now kind of growing himself the same way I grew myself, which is just be on other streams. But the thing is, they're trying to suppress this form of growth. I'm not the only person to grow like this. This sector, the Fandom Menace extended sector, not the only place to grow like this. There's a lot of other channels who've grown similarly, and I think the reason you have this stuff where the subs, I know it's inside baseball, so I apologize for those who don't care, but we have this stuff where the subs will disappear. Like I had 317 and it just goes to 315 or whatever, and the little subs go up and down. Then the reason that is, I think, and there's other stuff they've tried to mess with links. So I think YouTube is not really a fan of this style of growth. But I hope Brightest Day get 1 trillion subs, because it's cool to pay that forward. Because people like Paulie Latino Slant, another one, has a Texas Rock Jam at 7 p.m., which I'll probably check out some of it. I got to do something right at 10, or a little, actually not at 10, a little 10:30. Actually, I do something. So that's probably the bottom cap of how long this thing go, around 10:30. But yeah, Latino Slant, who's a great channel you should check out. All of you are probably subs since he has more subs, but just for the interest of fairness, just making sure. If you haven't subbed to my man Paulie, I don't know what you're doing with your life. He has a Texas Rock Jam at 7 Pacific, so that's 10 on everyone on the East Coast. As I try to vamp my way to finding, I'm not smart enough like everybody else where I have a list of everybody. I'm not that smart. I got to go to the YouTube and just look up people's stuff. So it looks like he has the clean link, so I don't have to add any more buzz. Paulie Latino, so he has the clean link. So yeah. And yeah, brightest day born in the chats like Stephen Ward. I never thought my chats were the chats to be born in. I'm born in the chats. Like I was born in the FNT chats. You know what I mean? So I didn't think I would be the type of person to promote other subs. I still look at myself as a small ass creator. Since the channels like yours are not only informative but fun and enjoyable, man, thank you. Thank you. Because like you're keeping the lights on in the Vigilante Cave over Squasher. And everybody else as well. But I mean, those donations have just been off the page. Yep. See how far we can take. I want to see how far you can go too. It'd be cool to like if I'm talking to somebody that's gonna have like 1 million subs one day. Like, yeah, I helped them along and I paid it forward a little. Of course, yes, please check out the Texas Rock Jam, which I probably will check out as well. Paulie has a lot of cool musical guests on this stuff. Fandom Menace Extended Sector, perfect description, yeah. And Bryce Day just subbed to Paulie, cool. Paulie, yes, he does have great content. Parrot Head. Yeah. Yep. Yep, YouTube unsubbed me. Man, I had a guy, Terminus S, hopefully he's still subbed. He subbed to me at least 2 or 3 times. At least twice. For sure, I know he subbed to me. So Terminus S, if you're still subbed to me, shout out to you. Hey, gracias, brothers. Hey, man, I gotta like I said, there's so many creators like you I owe a ton more. So if any time I can pay it forward to you guys, I appreciate it. Yes, YouTube does love doing that little sub thing. Guy saying hey to Parrot because he's great. Got a bail on you. When's your next stream? I'll catch you on the next one Saturday for sure. And then I'll be on Matt's channel tomorrow. So check Fireball Productions. If you're not already subbed, which I'm pretty sure you are, I will be on his channel tomorrow night. Man, I hate that. You just gave me $50 and now you're leaving. I feel so guilty. I owe you, Ogre Squasher. Please figure God, do you have mines? I hate giving out my Gmail, but I owe you something. I have to give you something. You can't just give me $50 and leave. And this Terminus S hilarious. Does he have his own channel? I'll check him out. Or is he just one of those guys funny in the chat? I wouldn't know because he keeps getting unsubbed from my channel. So y'all have no idea how cool he is as far as because he keeps getting unsubbed, unfortunately. And Parrot Head said, hey, to Darius in Hell / McSplitter did a stream with him. Just the other day, just Saturday, right after the Brave and the Bold, which is my Saturday show. Speaking of the Brave and the Bold, in a couple weeks, there won't be one, and I'll let you guys know a little bit more when it's closer to it. But yeah, we will not have a Brave and the Bold in a few weeks. But anyways, right after the Brave and the Bold / McSplitter, who I actually met through Paulie, I think it was on one of Paulie's streams. We talked about the worst wrestling gimmicks. So check out his channel. You want to check out that stream? It was tons of fun. It was me, him, and Nate, better known as Space Lab X, who's a musician and a wrestler himself. So it was really cool to stream with those guys. I guess we got to talk about all the craziness going on in this world. I guess we do. I like I said earlier in the stream, I almost don't want to talk about this crazy crap. I almost want it. And at the end of the stream, if I have time, definitely want to just have a little bit more unstructured. I really like the unstructured streams I do. And I really feel guilty that Ogre Squasher just say, here's $50, I'm out of here. Goodness, man. I feel like a Twitch dot now, Ogre Squasher. Like a Twitch, like one of those Twitch dots that don't do anything for the money. I can never, ever, ever, ever in my life criticize the Twitch dots ever again, Ogre Squasher. I can never say, oh, you guys don't do anything for money. Because I did not earn that $50, but I will take it. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. But let's talk about this craziness. Where are we gonna start? You know what we're going to start with? I'm aping. So a lot of these stories, I'm not going to lie, are being aped from other YouTubers. So I'll give the sample credits as I get them. This one is Ripper. He was talking about this. And the leftists are getting what they effing deserve. It says, great president, great Griff. I think that's what it says. But leftist publications are getting what they deserve, so to speak. The Huffington Post is laying off 47 after acquisition by BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed announces layoff in the Huffington Post newsroom on Tuesday, just 3 weeks after finalizing the deal to purchase the Huffington Post from Verizon Media. The layoffs will affect 47 employees. BuzzFeed is also shutting down operations at Huffington Post Canada later this month. The layoffs were made to fast-track the path to profitability. BuzzFeed CEO Jonah Peretti told staffers, according to Huffington Post. Peretti said it would allow the company to break even this year and eventually turn a profit. So here comes a little spin, but after this, I'll at least put it in the context. Layoffs come amid a pandemic that has been devastating to many. News companies and the Huffington Post, organized as a part of the Writers Guild of America East, said it was devastated and infuriated by his decision. Yeah, go ahead, pause. So they say that the pandemic has been devastating to many news companies, and that's not entirely untrue because the pandemic, even though it caused most people to stay home and most people to pay more attention to media, hence why a lot of you are even here, it did lower the ad rates significantly for a lot of media companies. If you notice, the ads have gone back to the 90s. If you're not old enough to remember the 90s, ads used to be crazy. You used to have a ton of pop-up ads, and you used to click out one, and it was a mess. And so that's how it kind of feels like, especially doing YouTube and having to use these sites. You see how how ad heavy they've become. A lot of that is due to the pandemic lowering the ad rates and such, but a lot of that is due to TDS. A lot of these leftist publications, a lot of these leftist media organizations, they lived off of raging people over Trump. That's all they had to offer. That's all they could provide. And now that there's no Trump, there's no real need for a lot of these companies. But again, I don't want to go too far, in the right-wing thought process. The pandemic played a role because of those ad rates. Let's read a little bit more. Today, we learned that 33% of our colleagues, nearly 30% of our unit will be laid off. A group said in a statement, "We're devastated and infuriated, particularly after an exhausting year of covering a pandemic and working from home. This also happens less than a month after the Huffington Post was acquired by BuzzFeed. We never got a fair shot to prove our worth." It's the corporate world. I hate people losing their jobs, though. I really do. Even if they're leftists, even if these leftist media organizations have become the CCP and destroyed the veracity of all media and destroyed the veracity of news and only became bullying organizations that shame people they disagree with, and they have really no worth as media organizations. You still don't like people losing their job. Just because it's just not me. I'm not a fan of that. I don't want these organizations to exist, but at the same time, you're never going to celebrate somebody losing their job. While the transaction took place, Verizon Media said the two newsrooms were operated separate news organizations. Thought there was more. So I guess that's it just says in May. This is the part I want. So in May of last year, BuzzFeed announced that it would furlough dozens of employees by the end of the month to reduce losses. And in July, 67% of those furlough employees were ultimately laid off. So this is the second set of layoffs. And again, that one in May, that's pure pandemic. That's pure the ad rates drop. And it's but it's not just that, because I think you have the TDS, you have the pandemic, and you have this just tired of narrative. I think even people who are on the left, who agree with a lot of this stuff, are just kind of sick of the lack of journalism, just the abject lack of journalistic integrity. And I think that's hurt them over the past. Like these companies like this had nothing to build on but partisanship. Even the company that's reporting this, The Hill, I remember watching their YouTube channel right as the pandemic started. I thought they were much needed, like centrist / populist vibe. You know what I mean? They were coming at people on the so-called left, or quick on the left and right by the parties because that's not a good descriptor. They were coming at the so-called Democrats and the so-called Republicans, or Democrats and Republicans, and they were pretty even until the George Floyd thing happened, and then Crystal from the Hill started supporting riots, and then they just became super left, and they became unwatchable. And I think that has affected them. There's no reports on it. We'll see. And it's still a pretty big organization, but look at even there. Look what's still trending. Joe Biden, Donald Trump is still amongst the top. Trump is still a huge part of the media. They need Trump. They really do. And that's coming home to roost. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are talking about. Slasher saying hello. Parrhead says you earned it by entertaining us. Thank you. I appreciate it. I hope you guys are entertained. That's my outside of the entertainment this gives me, because this is the funnest shit on earth to do. I really genuinely hope that you guys are having fun with all these different podcasts. Hail KMFS. What is up? The sky is up. Inflation's up. A lot of things. The bullshit level is up. But I appreciate you being here, Kai. He's a dope person. If you haven't checked out his book, which, to be honest, I got a lot of shit to read. I haven't even read the damn. I got The Last Rona here. I still haven't read that, but check out Kai's book. Buy Kai's book. I need to promote that one about it. Promote everybody. Got to promote everybody, especially people. When randos are handing me $50, I'm in a good mood. Here's The Last Rona. Still have not read it. Still need to read it. So I'm behind on reading shit in general. But yeah. That's the second issue, the last one. I got the first issue read. Yes, Batman animated series shirt. Thank you, Nick Wise. I appreciate it. The lack of orangutan, call Trump an orangutan, is the reason. Yeah, Tim Pool called it Trump bump. That's what it's called. A lot of media organizations just let Trump's craziness do their job for them. I haven't talked on this podcast, but I talk about the NBA, who, there's lots to criticize the NBA, but even before the wokeness, they've been terrible at marketing because they let the players do all the marketing for them. They don't market anything. If you're an NBA fan, which I know there's no one is, and you watch a lot of like old sports highlights on YouTube, or you watch a bunch of other channels, you will never see marketing for a game. And I'm like, why? Because they just think you're following LeBron on Twitter. So it's the same principle of letting someone else do your job. So they couldn't be journalists. So they let Trump's craziness, and then all they could do is spin it. And that's how they exist as organizations. And it's not just them. We'll get into another one. Again, I'm aping from Air July, but we'll get into that other the Intercept shortly as well. Totally was Parrhead. Yep. There you're saying hi. He's not just another red shirt. He's the red shirt, and I'm glad you're here. Hopefully you can stay a little bit. I know a lot of people have stuff to do. Can't spend your whole night with me. A lot of you guys say hi to each other. Yes. Here's hoping legacy media dies off. We really do need legacy media to die off. There's been no group of people has been more destructive to the human condition the past year than legacy media. Legacy media told you have to wear your mask, and legacy media told you, lied about statistics. Legacy media is the reason, every place on earth is locked down. Legacy media lied about every goddamn thing they could in the election. Legacy media is the reason. The election was not stolen because Trump is control opposite. Both people are on the same side. So this whole thing was coordinated for a bunch of reasons, but that's neither here nor there because I'm the only one on that limb. The legacy media gave you the spin on what happened on the 6th. Legacy media they do a lot of evil. They do more evil than I can count. And they've been doing it since before my mom was born. But they've gotten to such a point where I really do hope they've crossed the line to the point where they die off. We really do need them to die off. But, some of the weak, Huffington Post is a part of the legacy media, even though they're new media at the same time. But they might as well be part of the mainstream. Heard on Nina Infinity is Biden is missing someone to replace him with a hologram. It's so evil what they're doing. Legacy media is the reason that Joe Biden is president, even though he's completely incompetent and functionally, he has no mental function. He doesn't have a mental function or capacity to be president, yet he still is. And that whore behind him, Kamala Harris, is right behind him again because of legacy media. And yes, it is beautiful cover art on Kai's book. Read Space Crime Domino, available on Amazon. Let me actually toss the link real quick. Toss the link for Space Crime Domino. Yeah, I get to check to make sure that no one did anything crazy with the super chats, which I appreciate. But I don't want you guys, hurting yourself just to keep the lights on in the vigilante crib. Vigilante cave, not the crib. No. Maybe I should call it the vigilante crib. That's too cheesy. And again, someone's vigilante cave. Like, how many people have, like, how easy is the vigilante cave? Like, okay. That's so original. It's just your name and cave. No hero's ever done that before. Vigilante wins. Your whole completely original. So here's Kai's link. Buy Kai's book. Buy 100 copies. Buy 100 copies. If we cannot just complain about legacy media, we cannot just bitch about legacy media. We have to be the new media. And that's entertainment. We have to be the new entertainment industry. And so the creators amongst us, we have to support and we have to promote and we have to compensate. You got somebody, Ogre Squasher again gave me a $50 chat. So I'm glowing today, a $50 donation. And I'm glowing today, but we have to support, we have to support these creators, have to support everyone. Because that's the only way we're going to make a dent is if the independent media industry as a whole is something they have to account for. And it will be. It will be. Went to the Trump bump. Went from the Trump bump to the Trump slump. Yeah, it is. And let me see. Godzillionaire lurking in the chat. Hell, Godzillionaire. Hell. Appreciate it. Legacy media is the reason nobody trusts legacy media. Absolutely. They destroy every bit of credibility they have, but they still have credibility with a great number of people. And I just think that their ability to lie enough till people believe it, they still move things. I've heard a lot of people are just starting to accept the mask. Well, it's not that big. No, it is a big deal. It's still a big deal. I think it's funny. HuffPost was co-founded by Andrew Breitbart as a joke. Is that really what was co-founded for? Breitbart created his own worst enemy. And Spacecraft Domino is available in book and Kindle format. So pick the format that best suits you. Address the love of my phone. Getting groceries can't chat much. Okay, no problem. We'll let Kai get groceries as we promote his stuff. And help pay for his groceries by buying his book. Help pay for his groceries by buying his book. I'd rather give $100 a month to the YouTube community than pay for streaming service. I'm with you on that. That's why I try to do a lot of super chatting. Because that's why I'm currently a member on Ripper for Young Ripper's channel and his Twitch, but I think that might be a gifted sub. But I also have Amazon Prime, so it's either that or Amazon Prime. I can't remember which. But I'm a member of Young Ripper's channel, member of Overlord DVD, better known as Doomcock, and a member of Gary Neurotic. That's how I met a lot of people. It's not Gary Neurotic, it's Nerdrotic Gary from Nerdrotic. So I'm a member of those channels, and I super chat whenever I can, and yeah. So I appreciate that. Vigilante Lair, maybe we're working on it. Oh, guys, in there, yeah. Yeah, and speaking of, like I said, this isn't the only organization going through this. Again, if you saw this from Young Ripper's channel, understood. But this other organization, who I'm not really that familiar with, but The Intercept, and I actually looked at their site. It's super cringe. But since Donald Trump left office on January 20, donations to The Intercept have gone down sharply. After years and years of steady growth, last month brought fewer new members than we've seen in more than 2 years. Similar trend being reported across media and progressive politics. It's funny how they don't really make the connection on why that might be. And then while Trump was rallied against journalists as the enemy of the people, they are. Grassroots outrage. I don't know if anything about you know what? There was a lot of establishment reaction to Trump, but there was some grassroots reaction to Trump. So I can't blame it all on establishment, but it's mostly establishment. Even in grassroots, reaction to Trump had a lot of establishment. But there were people who hate him. You can hate this guy. I don't like this orange motherfucker. But outrage over Trump's corruption, racism. But no outrage over Biden's racism or corruption or incompetence. So just the orange corruption, racism, and incompetence. Fueled, and if that's your interpretation, if you agree with any of these, fueled a spike in ratings, subscription, and fundraising that became known in the industry as you guys mentioned, the Trump bump. So as readers As reader support for The Intercept grew over the Trump years, tens of thousands of people chipping in $5 to $10 a month, we've been able to take on more and more ambitious and hard-hitting investigative reporting. You guys are not doing any investigative reporting. Matter of fact, let me pull up what their site has so you can see how little investigative reporting The Intercept does. Let's see. Had them pull it up. There we go. So, okay. So this is what this is just, hey, Facebook told a black applicant with a PhD she needed to show she was a culture fit. Now, fuck Facebook. I don't really care about them. But like, you need to be a culture fit in whatever company you work with. Listen, I've worked at companies, and it doesn't matter if they're black or white. There are people who are just not a culture fit. They can be black, they can be white, they can whatever. And this time, the current job I'm at, I am not a culture fit, but I've still somehow been there a year. And it is not because I'm black, it's because I'm sane, and that job requires insanity. And of course, this is their investigative reporting. Just Jim Crow, because there's voter restriction laws, because I think it's a voter ID or something in Georgia, but that's Jim Crow. Why is the oil industry trying to fight tribal sovereignty? Well, they want jobs. That's the answer. They want jobs. So yeah, this is the stuff that, and then I guess the socialists taking over Nevada. Good luck for your. I guess they like the prostitution. And minimum wage should be $24. So this is the investigative journalism that they funded with the Trump bump. Yeah, so I don't think we're missing much for The Intercept or the Huffington Post or any of these super woke ass companies. Orange is the new racism, absolutely. Investigative reporting, aka cherry picking and gaslighting, exactly right. Stay. Speaking of gaslighting, to segue, Disney. This is actually a month-old report, literally a month old, 4 weeks ago. I think it would have been the day. This is 1:15. I think this is the day Gina got fired, but it's early enough in the day when it was reported 1:15 p.m. And she got fired at nighttime, if you remember. So at that time, Disney hit 94.9 or 95 million subscribers. The revenue had dropped because they were using a lot of funky numbers to it. $4.03 per user due to the Hotstar combo, which means they had quite a few free users and combo users. Not too many combo users when you look at, they had this thing with ESPN Plus and Hulu and Disney Plus, but ESPN Plus, which is the lowest of that, only has 12 million combined. So there could be no more than 12 million who use that combo to get this at a lower rate. Plus, there is a lot of Verizon usage, so they get these free accounts. So there's things to lower that average per user, because there's a lot of, and there's free thing, ways to get free months, things like that. It lost. So it gained all these users, but lost a lot per user. So it shows that a lot of these are free users. But the reason I'm even talking about how many users they had and as of February 11th is because you will never know. There's no way to find that report. But Disney Plus will no longer be publishing the number of subscribers, and this evil fucking company is going to now charge an extra $1 so you can be virtue signal to and have your old classics, which are the only reason you're watching this fucking streaming service, fucking edited because you're too much of a bigot to understand how things are now. If you want to watch Dumbo, it's because of your white supremacy. Even though the Dumbo Crows actually did piss me off when I was younger, so I'm not gonna just defend them, and I'm not gonna defend anything Disney does. Fuck them. I hope they die. Not anyone, not any individual, but the company. I hope the company that ceases to be and no longer exists. Not people. People live, but companies can die. I don't care about this company. But Walt Disney streaming service, Disney Plus, launched with a low entry price, but like all streaming services have done, it will be increasing the subscription cost soon. Popular streaming service gives fans access to Disney classic movies and TV shows as well as content from Pixar and National Geographic. Disney Plus will increase its monthly subscription from $6.99 to $7.99, as well as a yearly subscription from $69.99 to $79.99. The yearly subscription averages out about $6.67. I'm glad they did that and didn't go demonology with us per month. So they're raising the price. Now, a lot of us know that Cancel Disney Plus trended. So I don't think they got 94 million subscribers right now. I'm just gonna guess. It's not confirmed. Sometimes we can over brand our space. We can think that we're a little bit bigger than we are, but I don't think so. I think this Gina Carano thing pissed off enough people that there's a good chance that significantly less. Maybe it's back in the 80s. So it looks like they're raising price to make up for losses for that. They could just be raising prices because they're an evil company and they were going to raise prices anyway. But it's just interesting to know. And you're never going to find out how many subs you have. So this company, which has already been, whistle blown on by a accountant who used to work for them, how they were basically lying about their profit. They get to lie about how many people are subbed to. And they get to raise prices. They get to play the same funny money game that them and actually a lot of companies play to lift their stock price, after laying off literally thousands and thousands, maybe like it was 30 some odd thousand in one go and another like 10 or 15 in another go. Something crazy. See what you guys say. How are they losing money? Netflix has to license everything. Disney owns all that crap. Extra dollar? Yes. When a business fails, it dies and a new business takes its place. Circle of Life by Ron Swanson. And here's another thing about Netflix, because they have, they have, does it have it in this article? Maybe it's this article. Netflix has 203 million global subscribers, and they are not in the black. And that's not a racial term. They are still losing money. Netflix is still losing money because server space ain't cheap. Man. Not when you need all the server space that a lot of these platforms are. That's why, as much as I talk shit about this platform that I'm on, I got to be somewhat grateful for them, especially when I got kind subs like Ogre Squasher and Eric Hayes chatted. Islington Girl gave me $1, and Brightest Day tossed $1 to me. So when guys like you are guys and gals like you are supporting me, I give this platform a little credit because they're putting up with my shit, and they're putting up with it via server space. So the server space for a lot of these platforms isn't cheap. The infrastructure for these platforms isn't cheap, and they are not profitable because the by far and away leader in the streaming service space, Netflix, is still a non-profitable entity. So how can these streaming services survive? They can't. Long term, they will die. The only question is, will they be enough money spent? Will they be able to rob us and take our money via the tax dollar because of how much they paid for our non-existent President Biden and his whore? Maybe that is how they plan on doing it. It wouldn't surprise me. Or maybe it's China who's going to fund them, because they the way Disney and a lot of these companies act, they don't care about the money coming from the fans. Let's see what you guys say. Yeah, I'll be saving 100% on Disney, says Lord Thoth. And yeah, hell, there is. Hell, Lord Thoth, appreciate you showing up. And this all sounds like a giant scam because it is a giant scam. It very much is. Hell, Gomer Kyle. Hell. I really should space out because the ads. Sorry if the I guess there's only one, but the other ones will show up pretty soon because unfortunately they are a little coordinated. But yeah, Disney scamming folks. Speaking of scamming folks, we got 2 back-to-back interesting stories, man. And this, as I say this stuff, potential midstream yeet warning, because we're talking about some spicy topics. First off, this is a few days old. Like I said, I've been aping stuff from other creators. This was from a guy I've actually just came across. It's actually a stream he hasn't done yet. So, but a guy named Quarantino the God actually had this story, and I just saw it on his upcoming streams. So I looked it up. So all credit, obviously, goes to the New York Post who did this, but Quarantino the God, spelled Dagawd. He talks about like relationships and stuff like that, but he's talking about this. So I'm like, wow, this is a crazy little tidbit to think. But this is a New York lawmakers want sexual education for kindergartners. And she's a strong black woman. And why is that important? Because I think they're going to start doing this. Because remember, if you're against a black person, unless it's a black person on the right, just like if you're against women, unless it's Gina Carano is wrong. So unless it's like Eric July or you know what I mean, somebody like that who talks sense. If you're against a black person, you're a racist automatically. So if you don't want, this is the plan, at least how I see it. If you don't want sexual education for your kindergartners, well, you're a racist because, you know, this black female senator, this strong black woman, it's her recommendation. You must not want black people. Now, note about sexual education. Since sexual education has been distributed to children, because they're just going to have sex anyway. The teenage pregnancy rate has, they quadrupled. I think it's skyrocketed since sexual education. I actually would have to do some more research to give you the exact numbers. But since the introduction of sexual education to high school students, teenage pregnancy went through the roof. Sexually transmitted diseases went through the roof. And just the dating world as it is now is completely trash to anyone who's trying to date. So I don't think sexual education has actually helped high schoolers who are going to become adults. There is no need for children, kindergartners, to be in sexual education. They are trying to groom your kids. That is not an exaggeration. And they're trying to define sex. We're going to get into the super straight thing next, because I just find it crazy that they are so interested in your sex life that they want to make sure your kids know about it. Young kids who can't even process this shit. They want to make sure they know about it. And then they're the ones who want to tell you that if you don't want to have sex with somebody who is biologically the same sex, because they are, I'm not denying you being transgender, a different gender. If you're a transgender woman and you were born a man, and I'll call you a woman if that's what you want, because I'm not here to make fun of people. But that doesn't mean I have to be attracted to you, because no one's owed anyone's attraction. But for some reason, if you're not, and this super straight thing started as a joke, but I'll talk about it a little bit later. You're this, that, and the third. So I'm sure they're going to use her, and I don't know that. Maybe they won't use her race. Maybe she just happens to be a demon a demon who's a black woman. I mean, there's demons of all races and creeds and genders, but this person is suggesting that your kids learn sexual education. So get ready for the latest woke wave in education. Comprehensive sexual education for kids as young as 5, thanks to a new bill in the state Senate. It's the state of New York, by the way. Legislation sponsored by State Senator Samara G. Brookman. Real quick, before I get into this demon, she is a goddamn demon. Have every right to have hatred for somebody who is trying to teach your kindergartners in the state of New York. I'm not sure who has kindergartners in the state of New York. You have every reason to hate this person. You have every reason to be angry at this person, but for legal purposes.
Stand away! Stand all of you! All of you! I don't want anything for his Do you understand?
As wicked as this motherfucker is, please do not contact this dumb bitch. All right. Okay. Legislation sponsored by Samara G. Brock, a freshman Democrat from Rochester, would tie New York's health curriculum to standards written by a left-wing interest group that advocates sex ed for social change and will make those lessons mandatory statewide. Under that group's current standards, public and charter schools will have to teach 5-year-olds about gender identity and instruct 8-year-olds on hormone blockers to prevent puberty in the transgender identifying preteens. 5 and 8. 5 and 8. Kids as young as 11 will be getting lectures on vaginal, oral, and anal sex. Study, I can't say this word, two-spirit, asexual, and pansexual. By the way, pansexual includes children, if you're wondering, which is why that's push. It does not just include all genders and gender identities. It does include children. It technically includes animals and objects as well, but that's neither here nor there, which is probably why it's such a popular sexual identity in the entertainment industry. Other gender identities receive explicit instruction on the use of internal and external condoms, dental dams, and other contraceptives. Brock told the Post, I'm greatly concerned about the unacceptable high incidence of relationship violence, sexual harassment, and assault, and online bullying in our society today. So why would we teach 5-year-olds? They're not involved in any of this shit. They better not be, you sick bitch. We must equip the next generation with the skills and education they need to thrive. When does the fucking public education system equip anybody with the skills they need to thrive? By the way, this book right behind me, as I always reference it, will prove to you Charter Schools and Their Enemies by Thomas Sowell. It will prove to you, as far as New York goes, that the charter schools in New York and some of the poorest neighborhoods are actually better than the richest neighborhoods in New York State, because that's where this studies and everything was taken from. New York State's charter schools relative to the public schools. Kids in charter schools, no matter how much money their parents are making, no matter what neighborhood they live in, will outperform the richest neighborhoods in the state of New York in the public system. Every single time, not every single time, a few times I did, but for the most part, in an average, they do. So your public school system is failing, you stupid bitch. And I'm going to come at this bitch because she's a fucking demon for wanting this shit. This is evil. This is fucking evil. There's no other word for it. I'm sick of people. They're using the LGBTQ as an excuse for their evil. They're using different races as an excuse for their evil. What two grown adults do between themselves is their business. But to push this shit on kids, 5, 8, and 11-year-olds is nothing short of disgusting. Okay. What else was this dummy talking about? Okay, that's the end of that quote. And I'll get to you guys in the chat shortly. I'm really pissed, as you guys can see. We'd be outsourcing our curriculum to this outside organization, and that's the concern. Outsourcing your curriculum, not the fucking shit they're teaching. The state constitution guarantees a basic education, but nowhere does it say we have to prepare our kids to change their sex if they want to, which is true. We have schools where 95% of kids cannot read and do math at grade level, and now they want to bring in these complicated social justice issues. That's BS. Thank you. Because I talked about Baltimore a few weeks ago about how they had a kid who had a 0-point average. They want to restart high school. Hopefully he gets a GED and doesn't deal with what his dumb mom was talking about. But they want the 17-year-old kid to restart high school because they failed. He failed too, but I mean, they failed the whole system failed him for that to happen. Because he was only in the middle of the pack of the class, meaning half of the class were at a failure level at least. And New York has similar issues. All major cities, all these major states have similar issues from their school system where they have pockets of the system where people can't even read at grade level. The education system has so much shit going on with it, so many fundamental flaws that it really can't even afford. Even if you thought that grooming your kids was something, it's disgusting. I can't even joke about this shit. Whatever, no matter what social justice initiative the New York State does not, or none of these public institutions or public systems, none of them have the weight to do this shit. None of them do. And then you're going to add this sick shit. Even parents who approve of sex ed in school are queasy about the envelope pushing topics the law will require. It's inappropriate, said Kenneth Jewell, Manhattan family law attorney whose 2 children attend public New York City schools. These are things kids that age are not capable of comprehending yet. Jewell favors early grade instruction on personal space and pedophilia protection, but thinks Bronx number measure go too far. You know how to protect these. I shouldn't have said the word because I think it's a bad word to YouTube. Well, who gives a fuck? Fuck you, Susan. You know how to protect people. Protect your kids from this word. Get them out of your public schools. Because the teacher union is fortunately protecting people who are this. Again, look at the screen. That's who the teachers union protects. If you want to protect your kids from that word, get them out of this demon ass system. Because there's a reason they want this. This is not going to be the only school system that wants this. As a dad, I want my kid armed enough to know something's wrong, he said, but I don't want to put knowledge in their heads that would take away their innocence of childhood. Well, you better get them out of public schools. Especially your attorney. You got the money to. So, oh man, a recent study by Montclair State. It's funny how a recent study always shows up when they have to show some narrative. And I'm sorry I haven't read a lot of you guys. You know what? I'll pause for a second to read some of you guys checking. Let's see if some of you guys are leaving. I should leave. They are trying harder and harder to indoctrinate kids. That crap won't fly in the South. Hate to tell the perps. I hate to tell you this, Goldman Kyle. There's a lot of leftism in the South. Unfortunately, I think it will fly. I think the stuff will fly everywhere. I hope it's wrong. I hope it's wrong. I hope I'm wrong. I mean, but I think it'll fly everywhere because everywhere's going left. And yeah, guys, I like how Ash StreamYard show up in your browser. We're streaming with StreamYard. That's a little StreamYardception. Absolutely crazy, says Lord Thoth. Bonkers, said Gomer Kyle. The state want everyone children. It takes a village after all. Let's not forget the lauded anti-racist group Black Lives Matter, before everyone realized it, talked about how they want to basically keep the fathers out of the home, and they want to raise your children outside the two-parent structure, the patriarchal two-parent structure. Hell, Finrod Ice Wolf. I was just mentioning you as far as people to subscribe to, sub to Finrod. Please sub to Finrod Ice Wolf. I gotta put his link there. Yes, it's sickening. Darius Munchausen. Hell to the chat. Yep. Modern day Pied Piper, which is also relative to related to Panda. I think I may have some connection issues. So yeah, sorry if I do. Favorite Ice Wolf will be waiting for you. Yeah, I told you we were talking about you a little earlier, man. Talking about you a little earlier. This is sick. They're not doing it for the kids. They're doing it for the sick thrill. And they're doing it for the kids for that sick thrill. They're dirty motherfuckers. And they're trying to normalize this dirty shit. They're sick demons. I feel for the future of public school kids because it seems like the only ones that will be successful in life are the private school kids. These people, children, coincidence? Absolutely not. That's why they push this college system so much, so they can price people out. They are trying to class themselves out from the rest of us. We will be eating bugs. They will be eating food. We will be working for them. That is the plan. That's why they run a raise $15 to minimum wage. So the only people who can afford it are major corporations. Therefore, you have to work for a major corporation as a slave, and the people who run it will be the people who go to the private schools. It's basically how you can't create a monarchy without having a monarchy. Yes, no coincidence at all. 3 smartest friends never graduated high school. 1 got GED, and 1 didn't even need that. Yeah, you don't need high school. Listen, if I had a kid, I would try to get him a GED as quickly as I can. That child's whole life would be different learning that so young, which is the point. They want all of our children to learn that. They've been trying to destroy the family structure for a while, and now they want to destroy it at its root, which is the child. But hey, look on the bright side. Look on the bright side. The kids won't be reading Dr. Seuss, and they won't be learning math, and they won't be in AP classes because those are racist. Math is racist. AP is racist because those black people are too dumb to learn math, and all those non-white, those people of color, the non-white people of color, they're too dumb to learn anything. So all that stuff is racist. So that's getting eliminated just with racist ass Dr. Seuss. Don't you guys know? Well, the more kids that have kid at a young age, it means more government money, which means traded folks to rely on them. Absolutely. And the more kids keep having kids at a young age, the less, they'll just go with whatever the fuck the teachers say. Well, that's school. Oh, no. What do you mean check my Cash App, Gomer Kyle? Oh, Gomer Kyle, you're a nice person. What did you say? Where's my phone? Here's this. Okay, I'm checking my Cash App. Gomer Kyle, you did not have to do anything, but thank you. Thank you. You guys are just the kindest folks on earth. And actually, I'm going to take the time to check the other stuff as well. Hold on. $10 super, Cash App from Gomer Kyle. Thank you, Gomer Kyle, for the $10. I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. And yeah, if you guys do donate, either Cash App or through Streamlabs, and we'll check my Streamlabs real quick. Please give me a heads up because I don't really have alerts. I don't have alerts, so no one Streamlabs. Thank you, Gomer Kyle, Ogre Squasher, Brightest Day. You guys have donated today, and I appreciate all of you guys keeping the lights on in the Vigilante Cave or Vigilante Lair. It means a lot to me, seriously. And there's a new icon. Yeah, there's a new icon. Darius, I like it. The RoboCop with the RoboCop here. Yeah. The RoboCop with a cowboy hat. Got RoboCop, of course. Detroit icon RoboCop. So yeah, it's cool little icon. He's right. And thanks to Hat was a suggestion from Robert. Shout out to Robert. He's usually in these chats a little early because he does the episode. So we got love for Robert. Got love for all you guys, but not love for this shit. Had to break the love up. So we're back to this evil shit. Back to these demons, man. And they are legitimately demons, man. These people are legitimately evil because this is evil. How else can you like? Oh wait, I got to read this child psychology shit before I really tear into this evil shit. Because yeah, a recent study from Montclair State. I already covered this, but I'll go over it real quick. Recent study, because there's always a recent study before this shit. Professors boosted early sex education as a way of preventing child sex abuse and later partner violence. So how did this happen? Could you please explain the mechanism that this happens, sir? Please provide receipts for how a early sex education helped that. Show me the numbers, show me the receipts, show me the statistics. Oh, you can't? Because it's completely bullshit. Why am I not surprised? I'm in love with the Seeker Standard. That's the organization who wants to groom your children for sexual child abuse, allegedly. Declared child psychologist Kelly Rapstein Dumho. They discuss all aspects of human sexual development and relationships to promote communication about uncomfortable topics. This knowledge both protects kids and prepares them to be groomed by the no group of I'm not going to say anything inflammatory, but again, that teaches you and protects a lot of demons who are very much into your kids in a way that you don't want them to be. New York is one of the 22 states that lacks a statewide sex ed requirement. State law leaves the topic to local school districts to decide, which it should be, because everything should be local other than HIV/AIDS instruction, which is required for grades K through 12 with lesson plans consistent with community values. In New York, public schools, that means lower grade instruction on viruses and the immune system with no mention of sex contact until the 4th grade. Should be higher than that. Middle schoolers and high schoolers receive sexual education starting the 6th grade. I still think that's early, but maybe 7th grade. It's a little less early than fucking 11, 8, 5. Oh, sheesh. Oh, man, you just sent 2? Let me see. I may have gotten your 2. I did just get your 2, man. For in lieu of super chat. I appreciate that. No, I will not dox your real name. Please, I hope none of you guys are getting my real name who's donating. I don't think you are, but please don't dox me. So we don't dox people here. Trying to stay dox free with the Vigilante Williamson. So thank you, Darius, for the Cash App in lieu of a super chat. I appreciate you guys. Only the most high knows if I'll ever be monetized, even if I meet their requirements. Just going to check Streamlabs real quick. Because when I get a donation, I got to check for the other ones. Just instinctively. But yeah, this is much appreciated. You guys are supporting me a ton. And it means just the world. It really does, man. It really does. Thank you. I can't even thank you because I got, like I said, that burping shit. Sorry about that. That's professional. But there's no guarantee, even if I get 1 billion subscribers and 1 trillion watch hours, that they'll ever monetize somebody like me. They're fucking with Ripper. I'm not sure if you've seen that, but they gave him a community strike for doing nothing against community guidelines wrong. They said he went against the WHO. He provided receipts to show that he absolutely did not, even though the WHO, as we know, are a bunch of shitty assholes. He still didn't even go against them, and they still gave him a strike. So this platform does not like truth. This the world, unfortunately, the powers that be, the establishment, the authoritarian establishment. We call them the left, but they're not left. The left-right paradigm is dead. But the authoritarian establishment run this platform do not like truth. And I try my best. I'm not perfect to give you guys truth. So when you guys support, that means a ton. Again, you guys are supporting my YouTube addiction. my YouTube habit, but I appreciate it. Where do all these freaking studies come? Who wastes their lives studying this? And what if the parents allow your kids to be a study like this? Oh, wait. What kind of parents allow their kids to be part of study like this? Oh, wait. Whoa, SJW parents. Fuck. Yes, SJW parents will change the gender of their kid if it suits that, if they get them more Facebook likes. Remember, cuties happen, which means parents signed off for it, and there were 650 in the casting call for one character on that movie. Again, 650 little girls were in the casting call for one character in that movie, which means at least 650 sets of parents, or maybe just 650 parents, because of how high the single mother rate is. But 650 parents or sets of parents were okay with their kids trying out to twerk for a movie. Remember that. As much as you want to, and we should hate Netflix, and we should hate the creators of that demonized shit, but 650 parents for that one character, and if each character had a similar casting call, we're talking literally thousands of parents, because there was 4 main characters, and that they were, I think 3 of them were black, and 1 of them was a different, I think like French, Caucasian, but there was at least 1,000 plus, if not thousands, of girls in that casting call if that stayed consistent. And they had parents, and they allowed them for it. So that's the type of parents who allow kids to be a part of these studies, if these studies are even real, because who knows? But who are for this? Darius, oh man, you're subbing to the Robin here, to Fenrir. Yeah, Darius, you're going above and beyond. We appreciate you, man. And you say we didn't get human growth and development to 3rd grade, and that felt too young even at the time. You don't need that shit until middle school, for real, for real. Yeah, I saw they were always hating on him. Yeah. I didn't get sex ed to high school. Me neither. Netflix was the ones who made that awful poster. It was more than that poster. That movie, I didn't see the movie. I wasn't going to subject myself to it, but I did read reports. Apparently, I got some of the reports I read was wrong. At least at the time, I got a lot of heat. Well, not some heat. It was some asshole on Twitter. But I actually sat and talked with him. And I mean, he said some of the stuff I saw wasn't in the movie or was described. Well, I don't know. But it was more than that poster, Darius. That movie had the intention of showing sexualized versions of girls to stop sexualization, but it could have been done a totally different way. Yeah, P. Wood will shower it with rewards just to push it normal fake folks' faces. But there's, you know what? With all this sick shit, and this is really evil. This is really evil. Random, and I see the all black. I can't help but to think witchcraft. Which I got a black shirt on, so I can't really talk right. But this is very evil. But you see, the state is trying to define your children's sexuality, and people at large are trying to define their own. So this is evil. This is wicked. I can't talk about how evil this is. But even before this, there's been a major push of the LGBTQ community. And I have nothing against the LGBTQ community whatsoever. I'm a libertarian-minded individual, and I think people are allowed the freedoms to do exactly what they want. And I'm not going to be touching this story, but for those, if you're looking at the screen, mom dies after this, that's just something to keep in mind. Just since I saw that, just keep that stuff in mind. Has nothing to do with what we're talking about, but keep it in mind. But this super straight thing, man, it started out as a joke, I believe, but I honestly think this is something that's going to catch on. Because if you're going to constantly push, if you're 15 or younger now, you've only seen this LGBTQ push. So you've only seen that. You would actually believe, let's say you were completely glued into everything completely normie. If you're 13 or 15-year-old normie, it wouldn't be unreasonable for you to believe that LGBTQ is some elevated group, right? Why wouldn't you? You would actually believe that they're an elevated group or a superior group based upon how they've been portrayed in the media, based upon how stunning and brave it is to keep them in a group. And with all these different genders and all these different orientations coming out, I think there's going to be a group of kids, and there probably already exists a group of kids who just like, I'm straight and I want my own thing. So as much as this is a kind of a joke gone wrong-ish, I think this is gonna catch on, even though they're gonna probably push it, this super straight thing. Now, again, this is, if you notice, the colors are black and orange. That's a specific color orange. If you peruse certain areas of the internet, that black and orange thing, if um in certain connections, if there's like a little black box that says, I'm not gonna tell you what that specific orange form, but it ain't the Longhorns. Let's just say that. But this super straight thing is being pushed as transphobic. And this has the video, the original video. Let's play that. Grab your headphones. We'll play this is a TikTok video. This is what started this phenomenon. And then we'll talk a little bit about it.
Yo guys, I made a new sexuality now, actually. It's called super straight, okay? Since straight people, or straight men as myself, I get called transphobic because I wouldn't date a trans woman. You know, they're like, would you date a trans woman? I'm like, no, why? That's a female. No, like, that's not a real woman to me. Like, I want real woman. No, you're just transphobic. So now, I'm super straight. I only date the opposite gender, women, that are born women. So you can't say I'm transphobic now because that's just my sexuality, you know?
Okay. What's wrong with his logic based upon the logic that we've come up with? And real quick, he's not just another red shirt. He is the red shirt. He will see us later. Hell, just another red shirt. We appreciate you being here. And yeah, we will be seeing you. We'll probably see you in the FNT or FNF chat, or in maybe even on either the MF or JD's Hollin' by Entertainment. So we'll see Big Homie, just another red shirt later. Have a good evening, red shirt. Appreciate it. Who wants to bet on how long it takes for YouTube to ban super straight? Well, they're still around now. Yeah, brilliant. They're still around now. But the reporting of this is very interesting. So I'm convinced that a reason a lot of this stuff. Oh, and I'm dropping like flies when it comes. Only 4 people here. That's all right. Sometimes we have like 20. Sometimes we only got a few. Maybe it's because I started talking about super straight. Who knows? But the reason a lot of this crazy woke stuff flies is because the average person just doesn't even know it happens. I still think, there's a large majority of people who don't know who Gina Carano even is, let alone a whole controversy. Maybe they heard tangents. Oh, I think the Star Wars something, but they don't know. They have no clue of the details. They may have heard a tangential story in passing, but they don't know what's going on. So that's why stuff gets away with it. I'm sure that most people are not aware of the standard that states if you are not willing to date someone who is a transgender person, that makes you transphobic. It doesn't. Keep in mind, I'm a fat fuck. There's so many girls who didn't want to date me just because I was fat. There's so many girls who didn't want to date me because I was black, including some black women, and they were okay. That's a justified reason. I don't care. I don't want anyone who doesn't want me. In general, why the fuck would I'm not Pepe Le Pew? But that's okay. That's fine. And it is okay. You have any reason you don't want to date somebody is perfectly fine. But you are considered a transphobic individual just for not wanting to date someone who is biologically the same gender. And in fact, if you are somebody who does date someone the same gender, if you're a lesbian, for instance, you don't want to date a transgender woman who was born biologically a male, then that means you're obviously transphobic. And so that standard is a standard I don't even think the average person is aware of, but I do think the next generation. Yeah, and this is why I'm covering. You brought it up. It's in the title for yesterday's stream, and we forgot to touch it. This is the Snyder Cut we forgot to touch. And maybe we'll touch it tomorrow on the MF. Touch it. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow on the MFer. But yeah, I actually think it started out as a joke if you saw the video. And because if you look, and I actually pause it so it can kind of show
Yo, guys, I made a new sexuality now.
Shut
actually,
up.
It's
all right. Don't see. I'm not trying to see. Maybe if you notice, it says like funny, viral,
called super straight. Okay, since straight.
Okay. So it had some new trend, whatever. So it wasn't just it was meant to be comedic. Um, but it's being targeted as transphobic. What makes it transphobic to want to date somebody of the opposite sex? And oh, by the way, hell, Fireball, because he's dope. I didn't say hi. I just went right to cover. He just sent me a meme, so I'm gonna check the meme out real quick. And I got out. The reason, if you're wondering why I do this, why I close up on myself, I have like certain things connected to one browser and certain things connected to like I have to stream out of what is this shit called? Chrome, because it just works better in Chrome. But I don't use Chrome for anything outside streaming, and I have to have all my stories in Chrome. It just makes it better. But I don't like actually using Chrome, so I have to use a different browser when I have to go back and check your super chats or whatever. So that's why. If you're wondering, why does he always close up? You have to go to the other screen. Instead, just open up a different tab. That's why. If you're wondering, speaking of super chats, anyone dumb enough, I mean generous enough. You guys are actually so awesome. I can't still bugging off Ogre Squash for tossing me 50. That's insane. So let's see what Fireball has. Oh, I love this. Can it? Okay. So this is, and again, there's a bit of irony, but I think there's a bit like there's a generation who've only seen LGBTQ indoctrination. I think if you're 13 to 15, you probably want to feel like you have your own your sexual identity matters, right? I'm sure there are kids like this. It's like we exist, don't be a bigot. LOL, super straight pride. And then I love this. He says it's not a sexuality, it's a preference, and you're being transphobic. In the response, please don't use the term preference like that. That's absolutely fine, correct. Remember, Amy Coney Barrett was taken to task and called a homophobe because she used the term preference. But this individual has no problem using the term preference. But yeah, please don't use that term preference like that. Preference implies choice. We were born this way. Don't be straight phobic. My sexuality isn't transphobic. Please be hateful. And then this says Twitter, how dare you use my own spells against me, Potter. So shout out to Fireball, who's still keeping this show great even when he's not on it. Keeping this channel great when he's not on it. So yeah, shout out to Fireball. It's a cool meme. And I think again, there's a joke part, irony part, but I genuinely think we're going to have a generation of kids. I don't think Super Straight's going away. They may try to ban it, but I genuinely think there's going to be a generation of kids who want to identify as super straight because they've only heard LGBTQ representation is important, and they've seen it even when they were in elementary school, the little panels, the little rainbow panels. So they've only seen this. They literally have had their identity erased from the spectrum, even though whatever it is. Let's be honest, the most natural, most people are straight. The vast majority of people are heterosexual. So this super straight thing, as much as I think it started out as a meme, started as a joke, I think it's going to become something serious and something else to note. And of course, the reporting is it originated on TikTok, but it spread to the right-leaning forums like 4chan. But I want to say the guy, the Kyle Royce, who's the kid who came up with it, and he has it hashtag funny. I guess it had a million views, but he's put it down. He's taken the video down because people have sent death threats to his mom over this video. This tolerant community has sent death threats to his mom. And I'm not going to act like just that represents the LGBTQ community. I'm not going to do what they do. And actually what they did, apparently the Reddit got taken down because they had people come over who said a bunch of crazy shit and make them act as if they were part of the group, because this is what the authoritarian or the extreme idiots do. And again, we don't call them the left because the left-right paradigm is destroyed. If classical liberals are considered conservative, then we were lost with that paradigm. But anyways, the Reddit for super straight has been taken down apparently because of trolls representing themselves as part of the group. And again, there's death threats, and the reporting is this has to be transphobic because Straight people want their own identity acknowledged. I don't think it's all in jest. I think there's a spirit of reality to wanting people to do this. And of course, you know, I don't know who this blue check mark is. He probably, his wife, I'm sure, has multiple boyfriends. For all the gender, and don't contact this motherfucker. For all the gender critical accounts who shared hashtag super straight, got it trending. Took 5 minutes on Google, and it's a far right troll campaign for 4chan to get you to association with this, because this is all they can think of. They really mainstreamified this word, which is why what Gina Carano, who did not make a comparison to this, all she did is say that when this took power, that the people were had learned to hate each other by that point, which is true. And so because 4chan has said it. So they managed to make super straight an actual thing. It is a thing. And you know what? I'm Kiwi Farms. I don't know anything about Kiwi Farms. So if they're crazy, I don't know. And I know 4chan has a lot of nut stuff on it, 8chan, all this shit. I'm not gonna just co-sign them. But I think super straight is a natural I don't know what the best word is. It's a natural evolution. It's the natural response. If you're gonna go for a decade plus of pushing this LGBTQ stuff, they're going to be a generation of kids who've never even known that it's okay to be straight, and they're going to want this. So again, it started off as a joke, but okay. So let's see where we're going. Just sent you a meme. Just got home. Matched with a T-girl. Couldn't see her face and her throat in a pic. She wanted to hook up and said she was trans. Said sorry. No, not my kind of ride. And she was cool with it. Okay. Sorry I missed y'all show last night. Hey, you can just watch the playback. No big deal. I think sex ed in 5th grade is perfect. I started needing to wear deodorant, and I think someone needs to tell us. So it depends, because 5th, 6th, and 7th, those are the ages where puberty can start, depending on the kid. I do think, anything to tell kids to need deodorant, but a lot of that's on the parents. A lot of that is on the, I don't know sex. I still don't know. I think 5th grade is still a tad too young for me. For sex ed, I'd rather at least middle school. And there's believe it or not, argument against it completely, and just put it on the parents. Let the parents do this shit, man. My parents called me. Told me about the birds and the bees. And glad she didn't call you names, man. Glad you just got out of it. Or, that's not your thing. It's not your thing. Hell, Kai MFS. Everyone saying hi to Kai. He's back from the grocery store because he was at the grocery store earlier when we were promoting his book. Sup, Geek Tropology. Vote for Pablo. Hell, everyone. Yeah. Talk to some LGBTQ people I can find. And literally all think like shit like this is disgusting. Gives them a bad image. They told me never trust a man in drag around children. Okay. Blame it on the right communities, but it will spread everywhere. Yeah, like I said, I think a lot of this spread is going to be, it started as a joke, but there's going to be a generation of kids who really take on to this. The tolerant folks they are, obviously. There's not generally people know what's up. It's just the academics. He's dealing with a sexual human being, and they're real, they're chill about it. Okay. Hey, my friend. I was just saying, hey. Growing up in Tennessee, girls like the smell of fish. Guys and deer scent cover up. Oh man, that's I don't know if we're going there. Just expect the name calling now, like he said, Spurs making him look bad. Who knows? I ain't super straight. I'm damn straight, bitch. I guess I'm technically super straight. I'm not sure. Remember the story of the boy who cried wolf? Now look at the woke mobs, scream wolf so many times. When the real wolves show up, no one's going to help it because no one fucking cares anymore. It's pretty much a brilliant troll with a bunch of truth in it. Yeah, I think, again, it starts as a troll, and it's going to become a thing. Because I think there's a generation of kids who literally have been shamed for being straight. There are kids who start getting pregnant in the 7th grade. Some girls can get pregnant at 11. That's why they picked the 5th grade. But no, they picked kindergarten. They pick kindergarten. It's also going to be the 5th grade. They got different things. So kindergarten is going to start. And yeah, I went to somebody in my middle school. I think it was 6th or 7th grade. Did get pregnant. So I 5th, I guess. 5th is more arguable than kindergarten. I'll say that. What worries me, you have a generation that can name 45 genders but can't change a tire. I don't think they can name 45 genders. I don't think that genders, because they ain't paying attention to that shit in school. They're not paying attention to that. Well, yeah, the boy cried wolf. I thought that was a story about how you should never tell the same lie twice. Well, sort of. But it is, the idea is that they've kept fucking with us, and eventually, to pick the 5th grade back in the day, now they want to do in K. Yeah. 5th, I can understand. There's a legit argument to be made for the 5th grade. But again, there's a legit argument to be made for the parents. With the parents, it's fucked up. But yeah, it's more about the keep the left keeps having these boogeymen. So when a boogeyman shows up, it's not going to be anything. Heaven forbid I want to reproduce. Yeah, if you want to reproduce naturally, you must be a bigot. That's exactly. They call everyone Yahtzee and it's the foe. When the real thing shows up, no one will do a thing. That's what he's saying. And I think they're also encouraging a new group of people who are genuinely ist with a lot of this stuff, because they don't realize. I think even a lot of us don't always realize that whatever group is being used as a shield is just that, a shield or a weapon. They're not really. This isn't about the LGBTQ community. You know what I mean? This isn't. This is about the state via their state-sponsored media, because we are in North Korea / CCP land when it comes to our media being in line with our state being in line with the corporations. It's all one big fascist monolith. But they're trying to define and disrupt our sexuality more than they already have. Because make no mistake, they also, you guys mentioned Tinder. They came up with Tinder, or they've encouraged and subsidized Tinder. And that's had a negative impact on dating. They subsidized the current climate we had. They subsidized our parents. Anyone who was raised to a single parent, if you were raised 20, 30 years, I was born in the 80s. If I was born 20, 30 years before then, the odds of me having a single parent were astronomically low, as opposed to when I was born, as opposed to what they are now. Not just in the Black community, but now in all communities. But a lot of this stuff is culturally encouraged, and this is the stuff that's set up. And now they're really trying to push, try to force your kids into LGBTQ. Basically, trying to groom your kids, and I don't think, and because of the divisiveness, and I kind of went off on a tangent, because of a lot of divisiveness, if you're mad at BLM, you're just going to be mad at Black people. A lot of people, they're not going to do enough digging to realize exactly what the fuck that was. If you're mad at a lot of this crazy, the alphabet community being used as a shield, you're just going to get mad at them. You're not going to really get mad at the institutions who use them as a shield to push some BS. Oh, it's a DS9 reference. Okay, so I'm lost. Okay, I learned in 7th and 8th grade by learning how to change a tire in 3rd. Well, how about that? Really before 7th grade, I knew what I was doing. Knew what was going on. My buddy told me. Body, not buddy. Okay, whatever. Imagine your friend Fonzie telling you what's up. Is a correlation in the rise of feminism and the rise of divorce? Absolutely. Absolutely. It can only be tender after round 6, or to be fight or in bed. So many jokes. More like my buddy Playboy. I could change a tire, change my oil, and name all 2 genders, # like a boss. Yeah. Yeah, real quick, let's check. So make sure, see if you guys toss any more crazy ass donations my way. Then we'll get right to it. Alrighty. Let's go. How much do we have left? We've ranted about the Super Straight Brothers, as I joked. Let's see. # man. Gotta take the girl up to inspiration point in park. Hey, just know it's your kick-ass shirt. Thank you. It is a kick-ass shirt. I appreciate it. Tip your friend. Hey, everyone has tipped their friendly neighborhood vigilante, and I'm very appreciative of it. I just realized I'm not on the screen. Sub racist. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, just the whole. I hope there's not going to be a generation that's also going to be more istophobic, genuinely because of what they've pushed. But I already know it's going to happen because that was part of the plan. So we're nearing the end of this crazy ass podcast. I'm still probably. What time is it? Oh man, I don't think I will be able to go as long as far as I like going after the podcast to kind of talk to you guys. I won't be able to go as long as I want to. But yeah, this is disturbing and fun. Got to bounce. Peace to you, all my friends. Peace to you, Fenrir. Appreciate it. What a crew, what a chat. It's a great chat. This chat has been so amazing. Again, I know it's just a donation, but it's the biggest donation I ever gotten, probably will ever get. Fucking Ogre Squasher donated $50. I still can't believe it. And then left right after. So I owe Ogre Squasher something. I owe him like a private stream. Your private dancer for money. Do what you want me to do. I don't think Ogre Squasher ordered that. Speaking of music, that's a segue. Now, I was a Fleet Foxes guy back in the day. I wasn't into Mumford & Sons. I really wasn't. And I Fleet Foxes has one album, Helplessness Blues. Fucking album is great. I don't give a fuck what nobody says. But the Mumford & Sons banjoist is taking time away from the band after Andy No Praise controversy. Now, first off, Mumford & Sons still as popular as they were back in like the early 10s, because that's their era, at least when I remember when they showed up. But Winston Marshall tweeted he needed to examine my blind spots after he praised Andy No for his book Unmasked, which set off Illuminati's trying to kill me. At least I hope not. Which set off a storm of critical social media. Of criticism on social media. Winston Marshall, the banjo player and lead guitarist of Mumford & Sons, is taking time away from the Grammy-winning British band after he endured a social media backlash for praising a book. They call him a right-wing provocateur. He's just a journalist. And I mean, listen, I've seen him do he does his little, I guess you want to say, investigative journalism, where he tries to get behind the scenes. And I've seen him go behind the scenes of some right-wing groups that probably weren't the most savory people. So if that is something you want to hold against him, I guess you can. But I mean, what he said about Antifa has been completely spot on. So I don't know why you have to shame him or try to sully his name. But you're the Hollywood Reporter, another state-sponsored media rag. So I mean, you do evil shit. But in a tweet posted into his account on Tuesday night, Marshall said, over the past few days, I've come to better understand the pain caused by the book I endorsed, and I have offended not only a lot of people I don't know, but also those closest to me, including my bandmates, and for that I am truly sorry. As a result of my actions, I'm taking time away from the band to examine my blind spots. For now, please know that I realize my endorsements have the potential to be viewed as approval of hateful and divisive behavior. I apologize, as this was not my intention at all. Well, the lack of endorsements is also viewed as approval of hateful, divisive behavior because you're bending the knee to a cancel culture mob, so you didn't accomplish that goal. But here's one thing I will not do. Like I said, I was a Fleet Foxes guy. I've never given this asshole money. Right? I've never given his asshole money. I'm not going to do what the SJWs do when they just, this thing is terrible. This thing I don't like and don't pay attention to is terrible. I don't really give a fuck about Mumford & Sons. Again, I don't even listen to Fleet Foxes anymore. I probably, now that I've talked about, I may break that shit out. Actually, a song that I want to sample. But I'm not a fan of this goofy ass band. And I don't really care what happens to them. So my interest in reporting this is not to shame this guy, even though everybody is, and you sort of kind of can. But like, just to point out that we live in such a climate that you can't even read a book. This is what he said initially. And the book is called Unmasked, which promises to take the reader inside Antifa's radical plan to destroy democracy. this is what Winston. I already forgot the guy's name I'm talking about. Winston Marshall. Finally had time to read your important book. You're a brave man, Marshall tweeted, for deleting the message following a backlash and intense mockery of the band. That's a shame that you have to hide your own opinions and quit your job. And that's the world we live in. That's really the reason I'm reporting this story, because I think it's BS. I think it's BS that we live in a world like that where you where it has to be so extreme. Hold on a second. Looking for my phone. Because I think it just as my phone takes a while to update, just making sure you kind of generous people haven't sent the super chat via Cash App, which Comer Kyle did. And oh man, because he has his real name, I don't want to say it. Holy shit. Darius did. And do a super chat. But looks like that's all we have so far at that. But I am gonna have to get out of here fairly soon. So I'm gonna just go through this story, go through the positive story, and get out of here. So yeah. You have to change your opinions. This I mean, say what you will about Mumford & Sons, they were one of the bigger bands in the past 10 years. And you said the wrong thing, you have to leave because it's hurtful. And there's never, ever, ever, ever any consideration to what the other side is. No one cares about how hurtful Antifa has been. No one cares about the criticism of Antifa. And Antifa has been very racist too, since you always use that shit. But very racist. They burned down. I made the point on this channel, well, one of the early videos, maybe 4 or 5 months ago, that Antifa was doing literally what happened in the Tulsa. And Moira Kitty, I think, is actually doing a documentary on the Tulsa thing. It costs a little money too. But they're basically accomplishing that goal. I showed how a lot of communities in, oh my God, Kenosha, they were burnt down, and they were Black and brown communities. So we literally had white suburban teens go burn down Black and brown community. And there were Black people involved in that burn down. Well, I was BLM, which is still a mostly white organization, but that's neither here nor there. It was basically the Tulsa only countrywide, and Antifa was a part of it. And they will never make that connection ever, because it doesn't fit their narrative. And I think Andy Ngo, of course, showing a lot of corruption as far as Portland and Antifa. I do think that there's some bravery in that, and I don't think that there's a issue with that. Okay. I guess the no incident is not the first time Marshall goes by the alias Country Winston, and Winston spelled, creatively, I guess, WN510. And Mumford & Sons have courted controversy for associating with notorious right-wing personalities. In 2018, the band invited academic Jordan Peterson, who has been accused of transphobia, misogyny, and Islamophobia. Hold on. Islamophobia and transphobia. Pick one, please. And misogyny and Islamophobia. No disrespect. Pick one. You got to pick one, because if you cannot be both of them, you cannot. Jesus. Okay. You cannot be anti-trans. Go to the Muslim world with all of this shit, please, and see what happens there. But they invited Jordan Peterson to their London studios. So this shows that this band kind of leans a little bit more right than they led you to believe. But they were so shocked that somebody in the band read an Andy Ngo book. For shame. What else do I have? No, it's just the same story. Just the same story. But it's a sad story. I'm not going to go out of my way to shame the guy. I don't pay for this guy's music. I'm not interested in this guy's music. I'm not going to make the SJW take and tell you need to listen to somebody who doesn't pay your bills. No, you don't listen to me. But it's sad. It's sad that we're at such a point in this country and in this planet, because they're a London-based band, that just having the political thought, it causes chaos. And this is one of the many reasons. Don still got time, so we'll get to the last story. But this is one of the many reasons I want to do music, and I hopefully can get some music out this year, because I think the music space needs more people who don't have those political, well, do have what Mumford & Sons political beliefs purport to be if they're inviting Jordan Peterson. So if they're inviting Jordan Peterson and they're reading Andy No, I'm sure they probably at least are open-minded. I can't say it's necessarily right-wing because neither one necessarily has to be right-wing. You can be a lefty and like both. Isn't Jordan Peterson a classical liberal? I'm not sure. Now, I'm not really a Jordan Peterson guy myself, to be honest. But yeah, I guess he's canceled. So Can't Tell Me Time, Finite SA, which hopefully I said hi to you. If I didn't, I'm an asshole. Finite. South American or San Antonio. I'm not sure what SA stands for. But you said I can't tell you how many times I've said that, and I'm not sure what that was. So please let me know what you have said a bunch of times. Finite or finite. I learned from work. Oh, you guys talking about the fonts. Hell. Okay, so you must have just walked in. It's okay, I don't feel so bad. Do Mumford & Sons still make music? Maybe. It looks like they may still make music. Stream bots, spamming everybody. Yeah, buy a t-shirt. I don't know if anyone's bought t-shirts. It's been 2 days since I checked. If you haven't bought a t-shirt, let me know. Skills can be used. Everyone can use skills. Everyone can use in the country or suburbs. Okay, I'm not sure the context. And then more stream bot. I thought you were real life cyberpunk. Yeah, golly, Stream Islands. I'm sorry about the Stream Island spam. But one message comes and then a bunch of them afterwards. I gotta figure that out. Well, no, he did get beat by them, and he is Asian and gay, but that doesn't matter. That's why I keep saying the race doesn't matter and the color doesn't matter, because we see Gina. They want a strong, powerful woman. Here comes Gina Carano. Get the fuck out of here. We LGBTQ and all this. Here comes Andy. No, get the fuck out of here. Oh, we want to be black and be pro black. Here comes Young Ripper. Get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? So we keep seeing that they do the little narrative thing. They're only using this as a shield. I only know who they are because of Rock Band. I think a lot of people remember that game. It got a lot of people into a lot of bands. To be honest, most of my family is handy with car and tools. I'm the least apt, but I fix all the computers and stuff. Hey, man, that's still good I need to be back in. I've changed my brakes. I've changed my alternator. I actually have not changed my oil, which is probably stupid. We have to change your alternator and not your oil. From the outskirts desert region, LOL, referring to cyberpunk. No, a little thing about everything mechanical. You can't work on electronics. I can barely work either, and I want to learn a little bit more. I hear you equate electrical to black magic. Yeah, a fun night. As I need to go longer. Oh, how many times I said that need to go longer? Yeah. Hey, can you put the link? Yeah, I should put the link. I think I did earlier. Get the F out of here. Okay, I did earlier. Oh, cool. I got it still up on my other browser, so it's real quick. So if you haven't bought Kai MFS's book, which we'll plug real quick, he's not a sponsor, but he's sponsored with love. He's invited me on the channel. Sponsored with love. Sponsored with love. Kai MFS. He's there. Hit enter so you can actually. So if you're in either Twitch or YouTube, please buy Kai's book. You know what? Real quick, let's toss in the D Live for the D Live fan, because we do know you exist, D Live. Vigilante cares if don't nobody else care, because it doesn't seem like anyone else cares about D Live outside of Vigilante Williamson, and it doesn't seem like D Live is that good of a platform. Even though shout out to Heather Pett, who just followed today, because again, the D Live fam is active. And we're trying to, you know what? I want Minds to grow. I want D Live to grow, but there needs to be more people on, and we need alternate media to grow. So buy Space Crime Domino. Again, please buy this book. We cannot spend all time complaining about the lack of creativity we get from Hollywood and modern media and not do something about it. And that's something about it is making sure in 10 years, Kai MFS is the next George Lucas or next Gene Roddenberry or next whatever else you want to put. Because listen, man, this is a thick book. This has put a lot of work. I remember when he was promoting back when I was a smaller vigilante, when I was just in the chat, Loki's channel, and he was promoting the book. I'm glad it's had some success. So let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. Our cousin wrote a novel. Yeah, basically, yeah. Thanks, y'all, because we are all family. We are all family in this community. That's why I love this community. You guys have helped me grow to the point where you guys are giving me crazy ass super chats and supporting my YouTube addiction. So we got to support everyone. Mine's is cool, just not used as much. Yeah, and I'll be honest, I'm not a social media guy. The Minds bot should show up. It should be one of these fucking spam bots that I have set up. He's dead. Oh, here we go. Here's Minds. So follow me on Minds. I'm on Minds. I'm trying to grow that platform. I'm trying to grow D Live because you know, if I have any hope of being the future of whatever the hell this is, it's going to be on alternate platforms. And I'm more active on Minds than I am on Twitter. So I think I'm a better follow on Minds. So yeah. Got a bookmark. We'll order it. Sorry, I haven't ordered it yet. Hey, never apologize for the money situation, especially nowadays, man. Biggest bummer publishing a book is BookTube is such an echo chamber, and I don't hide the fact that I'm the Phantom Menace, so I haven't got them to read my book. That sucks. So we're gonna have to keep promoting the shit out of you, man. Oh man. We need new sci-fi IP. RIP, Star Wars, Trek, Who, welcome, Space Crime Domino. And not even a black reviewer. So you know what, man? Whenever in history, you know, regardless of what we're talking about, whether it's political, racial, whatever, whenever somebody gets shut out of the mainstream, we create our own path. That's what the human condition does, and that's what we're gonna have to do with the Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace is one of the. It's free if you got Kindle Unlimited. How about that? But the Phantom Menace is going to. It's one of the biggest punk rock and consumer movements on the planet. Active ones, I consider one of the biggest. And so we're gonna have to support you outside the system, buddy. That's what it looks like. So yeah, V does reaching out to non-booktube YouTubers. I'm gonna get this shit out of here. We're gonna get this out of there. We're gonna keep promoting the stuff, man. I'll still order one of the physical. He's like, cool, but he's still gonna order a physical copy of the book. But at least they get you to read beforehand. So let's talk about something positive. We talked about some very disturbing stuff on this episode. Probably one that could get me yeeted. But let's talk about something positive. We always end with the positivity on the Vigilante Williamson show. A Miami janitor quietly feeds thousands, and love is the reason. A part-time janitor in Miami has cooked 1,000 meals a week. Holy smokes, 1,000 meals a week for the hungry since the start of the pandemic. Meet Doris. Sorry, man. I'm bad with every language. I'm bad with every name. I'm bad with regular names. I'm surprised. That's why I don't get mad when people fuck up Vigilante Williamson. But meet Dormice Moreau. And hopefully I did that right. Moreau is a 60-year-old widow. I'm sorry to hear that. Works part-time as a janitor at a technical school, walking or taking the bus, but the work of her heart is feeding the hungry. Every Thursday and Friday, Moreau borrows her church truck to buy groceries. Notre Dame, the Haiti Catholic Church pays for the food, relying on donations. Moreau then prepares the meal single-handedly while church volunteers serve or deliver them to people in need. Americans, Spanish, Haitians, they come here, she said. Even when I'm closing, they say, please, can I have some? And I give it to them because if they go home and have nothing, it hurts my feelings. Despite her limited salary, she's only works in janitorial. She also feeds people back in her home village north of Port-au-Prince in Haiti. She sends food pallets monthly to her sister, brother, and nieces and nephew. She takes care of everybody from A to Z, said Reginald Jean Mary, a pastor in the church. She's a true servant. She goes beyond the scope of work to be a presence of hope and compassion for others. Till recently, she's done it all without a car. Wow. Last week, Moreau was a surprise with a new Toyota Corolla by community leaders. With her janitorial job and all her work at the church, people ask Moreau if she's exhausted, but she says she's fueled by her faith. I can keep all the money for myself and never give anyone a penny, but if you give from your heart and never think about yourself, God will provide for you every day, and the refrigerator will never be without food. I'm somebody who believes that as well, man. And that's a really, really cool story. So no matter what happens in this crazy world, as crazy as it gets, never forget that people actually do like each other, actually do care each other, and actually do things for each other. So we will read your chats and see how long we have to kick it before getting out of here. A few minutes. I'll take a few minutes. Because I really love talking to you guys. I really wish I had more time at the end of the show to shoot the shit. But yeah, I mean, hydrate or die. I haven't actually really drunk too much water the whole stream. It's probably why my throat's all dry. But yeah, reach it out to non-booktubers. I got that one. Still order one. Get free shipping. Yeah, you get free shipping with Prime. Punk rock. We art and music. Yeah, hopefully I can provide some of the soundtrack to the Phantom Menace. We'll see. Unless all my shit is trash. And I hear you, I'm the same, but if you want a fun story, you can just jump on the ebook and get the paperback later. Yeah, and that's the cool thing. Cool stuff. I will. Thanks. And finite essay. Yep, religion is bad. Rolls eyes. Where's the Antifa helpers? Yeah, like I'm somebody who's tired of the religion is bad narrative. Speaking of which, before I'm gone, here's another narrative I'm tired of. I am tired of. Listen, I'm done with the right and left paradigm. And classical liberals now consider conservative, so the right and left paradigm is done. But you have this thing when it comes to religion. Oh, well, the religious right, they were the ones censoring us. Bullshit. First off, the left and the right used to be religious. I know this is crazy talk, but the left cared about religious too, and the left and right were a part of the censorship push back in the day. So it wasn't just the religious right; it was the government. The establishment, which has always been. It is the establishment versus the people. If you want to fall into the left v right traps, either in the past or the present, that's up to you. And if you want to fall into the all religion is bad all the time, people censoring out the word God, that is up to you. But some of us actually do believe in a higher power, and it's not all bad. And if you have learned nothing at all from the SJWs, it is disproving the notion that every bad thing that happened in human history was the fault in religion, because it turns out that people did not kill each other or destroy people's lives because necessarily one religion was different from the other, but it was because people, whatever the case, innately have a motive to destroy other people. Unfortunately, they will use any excuse. They've used religion as an excuse. They've used race as an excuse to destroy other people throughout history. And now we see ideology, and that's also been in the past a reason to destroy people. So it's not the religion themselves, it's the people. We need to put more onus on the people. And if you want to blame God for everything, remember the free will has to exist. So I'm done. I'm off that soapbox. But you got me on there, because I'm tired of the religion is bad shit myself. Hell, Jaffo. I'm an atheist and believe the same. Okay. PMRC, Tipper Gore. Exactly. There was people on the left who were just as interested in censorship as the right. It was the whole establishment. Again, if you want to pick sides, which piece of shit stinks more, that's up to you. But I'm done with the right-left paradigm, and I'm done with this show, as great of a show as it was. So for everybody in the chat, not sure how high we got up to this episode. What's going on saying? Look at the 50s, 60s, it was conservative, 80s, it was both parties. Want something censored. But what was the left doing? Sorry, it should have been some negative after the left. No, it's fine. I'm not trying to defend them conservatives, but like, was the left really championing free speech? And don't forget, Martin Luther King was a Republican, and for all intents and purposes, even though it wasn't official, Malcolm X was a libertarian. So I think there's just so much. Well, this paradigm shift. No, it's always been the same. It's always been the establishment. Yes, the right was more active in the past, but that was only because the left was inactive more than anything. And yeah, and strong censorship from the 90s, the left. My whole point is the establishment, regardless of whether they're right or left, will always attack the people. So worrying about the paradigm, in my opinion, is silly. But that's neither here nor there. It has been fun. Peace out, Kai. Peace out, Darius. Peace out, Finite SA. Peace out, Geek Topology. Peace out, Fenrir, who was here. Goma Kyle, Jaffo, Ogre Squash, who gave me the biggest super chat and donation I've ever had. But he's not the only one who donated, because we had Goma Kyle also donate. We had Brightest Day, who check out his channel, also donate. And we also had Darius donate. And I know his government name, but I don't want to. Yeah, who else here? I feel like a lot of people here as the music's playing, and this is playing probably so a lot of people here. Foulball. I can never forget Foulball. Gave me a meme. Yeah, tip your friendly neighborhood vigilante on the way out if you haven't already. Gazillionaire. I think that's the top I can get. So if I forgot you, please blame my head, not my heart. I appreciate everybody here. If you haven't already, please like the video. If you like the video, please like the video. If you're so obliged to share, subscribe, please do so. If you disagree or agree with something I said on the playback, let me know in the comments below. And even if you've done none of these things, thank you for watching. Thank you for your time. And God bless. See you guys in the chat and FNT and FNF. That's Friday Night Tights on Gary's channel and Friday Night Fathers on Doomcock's channel. And then see you guys after the after show. That's the MF Lounge on Foulball's channel. Thank you. Peace.